Hello and welcome to the November 2019 edition of From the Desk of. My name's Tim Moody. I'm the Public Information Officer with the Randolph County School System. This is our Superintendent, Dr. Stephen Gainey. Every month we come to you and we share with you the great things that are going on in our school system. If you've seen us before, you know that we venture out to a different school every month. Today we were at Randleman Middle School. And Dr. Gainey, before I settle in with my interview with you, we're going to meet Randleman Middle School's principal. So we are here with Melanie Richey, who is not only the principal at Randleman Middle School, but she is a first-year principal here. Ms. Richey, I want to give you an opportunity to tell us just a little bit about yourself.
All right, thanks, Tim. I am in my 13th year in education. I began as a math teacher in Asheboro City at North Asheboro Middle School. I left the classroom to go be a principal fellow with the North Carolina Principal Fellows Program. And then I started my administrative career in Randolph County Schools. I spent 2 years at Ramseur Elementary as an assistant principal there, and this is my 4th year at Randleman Middle. I was an AP for 3 years and then moved into the principal's role this year. All
right, well, I know you love Randleman Middle School, so I'm going to give you just a moment to brag a little bit about your school and tell us some things about it.
Okay, well, Randleman is a great school. We are the largest school in the district right now. Everybody wants to be a Tiger, and we enjoy having 5th grade here, so we are a 5-8 school. We have 5th grade academy, which is the 5th grade students from Randleman Elementary School, and then we have 6th through 8th grade. Our community is very supportive. This is a really tight-knit community in Randleman, and we have a saying, once a Tiger, always a Tiger, and the students move up and they are Tigers from the time they start elementary school until they graduate from high school. We offer students a lot of options outside of the core curriculum. We have a ukulele class that we started this year. We have our girls club and a boys club. We also offer a running club, student government, beta club, which our Beta Club students just got back from a trip to Appalachian State University yesterday. We just started a few weeks ago a Girls Who Code Club, and one of our CTE teachers, Dana McIntyre, began this club. It's an after-school activity offered for all of our 5th through 8th grade students and females, and it's teaching them how to code and create games and things with the computer. So we're trying our very best to have a lot of options for students to participate in.
Well, thank you for sharing all that with us. And then I understand we have a couple of special guests that are going to be joining us briefly here for part of the interview. So tell us who we're going to meet.
Well, we're going to meet Lacey Williams and Emma Anderson. These 2 8th grade girls are in our girls club. Our girls club is run by Miss Ginger Cromer, our student advocate. It's a great program that she began a few years ago. She started meeting with the girls just once a month during their lunch, and then this year we decided to add it as part of our enrichment time. And so the girls meet with her every day. They have service projects that they do, and she has a curriculum about helping them learn to handle their interpersonal relationships and things like that. And so I've invited these girls to share with you a little bit about what they do in Girls Club.
All right, great. Well, let's meet Lacey and Emma.
Girls Club is an environment where a bunch of teenage girls get together in the morning of every day, and we kind of like deal with our problems and like help each other out and put inputs on each other's problems. And it's just like a comfort zone for a bunch of girls, and we feel very open with each other. And Miss Cromer helps a lot with our problems and just helps us understand them more as young teenage girls.
Part of the Girls Club is the Rolling Roast Cafe, and we get together every Friday and we make coffee. We got to decide what we're going to name it and what kind of things we would serve, so we all get to come together, and it's really cool because we all get to contribute different things to it. We get to practice becoming good at business or just selling things or working together, different traits of having that, so we can practice becoming responsible and being a leader or helping out whatever is necessary.
So thank you again to Principal Richey and also to Lacey and Emma for being a part of our interview today. And Dr. Gainey has some other school district news to talk about. We have some administrative announcements, and I'll give you a chance to update our community on those.
Tim, we have 3 administrative announcements that have occurred since our last interview. Sean Shoptow is coming to us from the Alamance Burlington School System. He'll start on the 25th of November as the assistant principal at Randleman Middle School, where we are today. Also, Wanda Andrews started today, November 20th, as the interim principal at Randleman Elementary School. And very excited to announce Susan Chappell, assistant principal at Eastern Randolph High School, was just announced the other night as the new principal at Eastern Randolph High School starting January 1. Greg Batten, the current principal, is retiring. December 31st will be his last day, and so Susan will take over after he retires. And Susan's been with Greg Batten for 3.5 years and was there a year before that with Winter Ashworth. So she will have been the assistant principal at the school for 4.5 years and now moving into the principal role. And just very excited for Susan and very excited about all our moves and looking forward to just a great run after we come back from the holiday break as far as these people in new positions and what they can bring to the different schools.
So Dr. Gainey, anyone who's ever been to any of our Board of Education meetings knows that one of the real highlights of these meetings is our awards and recognition time. And this past Monday evening, we were able to recognize our Star 3 students, our Star employees, and also our EC Teacher of Excellence Award winner for the 2019-2020 school year. I'll let you make that announcement right here.
Well, Tim, as you know the other night, we announced Beverly Collins as the Exceptional Children's Teacher of the Year for the school system. Just exciting when you read about her career and you see what she does in the classroom and you hear everybody else's observations of her great work. It's just exciting to be able to recognize an individual has done such a great job all these years. She's in her 37th year of teaching, and just admire her for the great work she does, and we're just happy to have her with us. Very fortunate to have her in a classroom every day with kids, and so she's one of many great superstars we have across the school system. But it's always a wonderful time when you get to recognize and showcase a talented individual like Beverly Collins.
So speaking of awards, another teacher, Tria Cope of Trinity Elementary School, is one of 27 finalists across the state for a very special award, and give you a chance to talk about that.
Well, I think Tria, we just talked about Beverly Collins, and I think that tells you what goes on in school systems. Beverly Collins is in year 37 as a superstar teacher, and we've recognized her for her great work. And now Tria Cope, in her second year of teaching, is being recognized for her great work. She's one of 27 finalists for the Beginning Teacher of the Year award that's being given by the North Carolina Center for Advancement of Teaching. She'll learn on December 5th if she is the Beginning Teacher of the Year for the state. Very excited for her. Tria is just a wonderful teacher. She's a combo teacher, kindergarten, first grade teacher at Trinity Elementary School. Great example of what we've been doing with our recruiting efforts over the last couple of years. Tria, a student taught at Trindale Elementary School, and we hired her when she finished her degree at UNCG. So just very excited to see her be recognized and just glad to have her with us. And just it's going to be an exciting time to see the results of this process, and just to be one of the 27 finalists is a wonderful honor. When you're talking about people from across the state and you're one of 27 finalists. So excited for her. And just interesting, you may not know this, Tim, but we just had a meeting about a month ago with student teachers and individuals who are doing intern time in our schools. And we do that in the fall with student teachers in our schools and talk to them about the school system. We do it in the spring as well. And we usually bring one of our teachers in to talk to them. And a lot of times it's one that's early in their career. And what's really interesting about how all this is developed is Tria was the teacher we brought in to speak to the student teachers and interns from the college and universities who are in our schools now. So, it all kind of comes full circle. Here we are. She's in there, and that day did a wonderful job of talking about her experiences so far in her first 2 years of teaching. And now here we are talking about her possibly being recognized for a big award. It's already been a big award to be recognized as a finalist, but I'm going to keep my fingers crossed because she truly deserves it. I know there's 26 other finalists, but I've seen her in action, and she truly deserves any recognition she gets.
So staying on the subject of awards, we've had a couple of individuals we talked about. Now let's talk about a school. Liberty Elementary School received a nice recognition just yesterday.
Yes, Kelly Harrell was in Greensboro yesterday at the Corey Center, an event. And at that event, she received the Green Ribbon Award for her school for the implementation of the MTSS process. And MTSS stands for Multi-Tiered Systems of Support. It is an initiative that is being implemented in all of our schools, all 31 of our schools, and statewide. And I just think her school being recognized as a Green Ribbon Award winner just is a reflection of the great work by Kelly and her staff to implement this process, and it's aimed at helping provide additional help for kids. And so just a big thank you to Kelly and her staff for their efforts with the MTSS process, and a big congratulations for receiving this award as a reflection of their great work.
So staying on the subject of Liberty Elementary School for just a moment, there was also an announcement regarding their upcoming schedule and calendar that you may want to update the community on.
Well, Tim, during the first week of October, middle of the night, I think it was September 30th, we had a waterline break in Liberty, and I think it was October 1 and 2. There was 2 days that week, and I'm pretty sure it was October 1, October 2. We missed school. We had to close school at Liberty Elementary School. So the other night at the board meeting on the 18th of November, the board did vote. Staff took a recommendation to make up those 2 days. We are going to extend their school day by 10 minutes starting on December the 2nd and all the way through March 31st. And that should make up the time missed for those 2 days. So their schedule will be changed starting December 2nd. But that was, like I say, it goes back to those 2 days they missed back at the beginning of October.
So one of the things that we like to do in these interviews when we have the opportunity is to talk about those in our school system who seem to work behind the scenes, and that certainly would include our cafeteria workers, and especially when there's a cafeteria that receives a perfect 100 sanitation grade, and that happened with Farmer Elementary School just a few days ago.
Well, Tim, I think a lot of people, you don't think about it this way, but a lot of people forget that we're basically running 30 mini restaurants around the school system. Now the food is prepared at a school site and taken to the early college, so they don't have a cafeteria per se, but we do run 30 mini restaurants, and so they're held to the same standards as restaurants, including sanitation grades. So to receive 100% on your sanitation grade is a wonderful accomplishment. And you know, Donna Underwood, the manager there, does a great job, and assistant manager Alice Davis, just big compliment to their efforts and their staff's efforts, and just always great to see, again, great work by individuals being recognized. So congratulations to them, and you know, I know Donna Underwood takes a lot of pride in her cafeteria, and just very proud of this result for them and for the whole child nutrition department, because Kelly Green and her staff work very hard with all of the schools, and to see this result come out is great.
So one of the things that really makes the Randolph County school system great are our people, and staying committed to hiring the best people is something that we do, and we have a hiring event coming up next week that you may want to talk to our folks about.
Well, Tim, you're exactly right. This is a people business. I mean, we have great staff in all the schools and central office, and we have great kids. So it is clearly a business driven by people and relationships with each other, and that's what makes it such a great place to work for me and a lot of people, because we enjoy interacting with each other and seeing what different people do in their roles in the school system. But recruiting is a piece of our work that never goes away. We're constantly having to recruit for, we may have people retire, create vacancies, or people move away that create vacancies, or we may have growth in some areas and we need to recruit because we're adding positions in some areas. But we do have a recruiting event. It'll be on December the 2nd from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock at the J.B. and Claire Davis Training Center at RCC and Randolph Community College. We're just looking forward to a lot of people turning out so we can talk to them about what vacancies we have and hear their questions about how to pursue employment with us. So it'll be a great day and a great opportunity for us to meet some more wonderful people who we can possibly bring into our school system as employees and join what we already have as a great staff and just add to that.
So we have a board meeting, or what we call our regular board meeting, every month, and occasionally, not very often, but occasionally we have to modify the schedule and move a meeting from one date to another, and that's happening in December.
Yes, Tim. The board work session and the board meeting for December originally was scheduled for December the 16th with work session at 4:30 and board meeting at 6:30. We've moved it up a week, so it'll be December 9th. We'll still have a work session at 4:30 and then the board meeting at 6:30.
Okay. So a nice event that takes place every year, and it took place last week, was the Multicultural Night. Tell us a little bit about that, Tim.
Well, Tim, we moved that event this year to Randleman High School. Prior to this year, it had been at Randleman Elementary School, but had a little bit more space at Randleman High School with the gym. And I want to say a big thank you to Dennis Hamilton and his staff for their help in making that event such a success. I also want to say a big thank you to Roxanne Taylor and Laura Lequette, two of our leaders in the ESL program for the school system. We had performances, we had food, we had different displays, different table displays with different individuals. And Roxanne and Laura really had a big role in planning that event and seeing it through. I just want to say a big thank you to them. They do such a great job for our school system, and are so supportive of everybody in the school system. And it was just great to see that event be such a positive one, like it always has been over at Randleman Elementary School. And just left there with a good feeling that night. Seemed a lot of smiling faces, a lot of people involved, and just like I say, big thank you to Roxanne and Laura for making that event a success.
Another event that took place just recently was some Veterans Day events that happened, I think, at 3 of our schools, and I'll give you a chance to share. I know you were at a couple of those.
Well, I did. I was able to attend the Veterans Day Assembly at Randleman High School. I've been able to go to that one each year, and I really enjoy that one. And Dennis Hamilton and his staff do a great job with that event. I've been to the one at Seagrove in the past years. I wasn't able to get to that one, but I did go to one I had not been to. And it was at Grace Chapel Elementary School. I got to that one this year, and that was a wonderful event. I want to say a big thank you to Ross Reeves and his staff for the way they planned that event and the way it was carried out. It was just a wonderful event. And I just have to say, I'm very impressed with our staff and our kids and their reaction to Veterans Day and what Veterans Day means in this country. And you know, in my opinion, we can never say thank you enough to the veterans of this country for what they've done for our freedom and the things we get to do because of their hard work and their sacrifices for many years. So I always enjoy that day. I always enjoy seeing the events where veterans are invited back on our campus and we get to interact with them and talk with them and just show them how much we appreciate them, and love to see the smiles on their faces as well. And the kids' reaction to it is very it's a wonderful feeling to me to see the kids, their understanding of why we have Veterans Day and what it means to this country.
So Dr. Gainey, we talked a few moments ago about our Board of Education meeting from this past Monday, November 18th, and some of the things that came out of that meeting. There was another big unfolding of news, and that was regarding Uwharrie Ridge 612. And so will you share with us those details?
Well, Tim, at the October work session, we had a big discussion with the board about the future of Uwharrie Ridge 612 athletics for grades 9 through 12. So when we went to this new school project of adding grades 9 through 12 to the Uwharrie Ridge campus, which originally was Uwharrie Middle School 6-8, the original plan had the kids in grades 9 through 12 would play athletics at Southwestern Randolph High School. We've been watching that, and now we've added this year 11th grade. Next year will be 12th grade. And we've been watching that and watching the numbers and had some discussion with the board about what this looks like down the road. And the board made a decision on Monday night, November the 18th, that we will continue with this plan through next year, the 2020-2021 school year. So the group of seniors, that next year's seniors will continue, and as well as 9th, 10th, 11th graders, will play athletics at Southwest High through the 2020-2021 school year. However, starting in the 2021-2022 school year, there will no longer be athletics at Uwharrie Ridge 612 for the high school grades. Now, grades 6-8, the middle school athletics will continue as they've always been on that campus, but again, starting with the 2021-2022 school year, there will no longer be athletics for the high school grade level students at Uwharrie Ridge 612. So the board worked very hard with this process. You know, we've watched it for 3 years. We've looked at numbers, participation numbers and all. The board also was very interested in letting this first senior class that started under this concept of playing the athletics at Southwest to be able to finish high school that way. So again, you know, the juniors or that first freshman class, they'll be seniors next year. So again, next year, all kids in grades 9 through 12 will still play athletics at Southwestern Randolph High School, but starting the next year, there'll no longer be any athletics for kids in grades 9 through 12 at Uwharrie Ridge 612.
So Dr. Gainey, as we close out this interview, do you have anything else that you would like to share?
Well, I do, Tim. You know, we're headed into the end of November, month of December, and you know, I continue to go around the school system and this is my 7th year, and all these years, I've just continued to be amazed at what I see in the talent level of our kids, whether elementary, middle, or high. And here we come into this month where there are a lot of concerts, performances by our children, especially in the performing arts. And so I just encourage people, whether you have children in our schools or you're a community member, go to our webpage and look at the list of performances that are on the school system's homepage of the webpage, and you'll see things all over the county, all over our school system, and I think people will be very impressed with our kids and our staff and how they prepare these children, because I've said this before to you, and I go to these performances and sometimes I have to kind of pinch myself. Am I watching high school, middle school, elementary kids perform, or am I watching professional performers? That's how good these kids are. You know, we're just coming off all county chorus, and that was at Wheatmore High School, and I mean, what a performance. And you're hearing these high school, middle school kids sing, and you kind of get lost in the moment about these are really middle school and high school kids. These kids are talented. And it makes you remember that we really don't know who we're around right now. We don't know what these kids are going to be doing 20 years from now. What are they going to be doing? What leadership roles? Who's going to be a professional performer in the performing arts? Who is it? We have kids right among us now that are going to be in those roles. And so it is exciting. I've always said, working in schools, we get a front row seat to the future of our country, and that's exciting. And these performances that come up in the month of December are a good example of that.
Well, Dr. Gainey, thank you. And I want to say thank you also to Randleman Middle School Principal Melanie Richey and her great staff here for allowing us to come and do the interview. Thank you also to Randolph Communications, and we will see you again in December.